A few sample problems for you, piggybacking the pre-lesson. Now, here's a similar math problem to one of the problems I gave you in the pre-lesson, but the instructions are a little different. It says, here's a function f, here's a function g. It says, identify the rules. If I'm you, I'm like, uh-oh, what do you mean rules? If you just look at what it's saying, it's just saying add f to g. That's a rule. I think that's a funny name for it, so kind of ignore that, but I'll explain that in a minute. F plus g. So that's 2x squared plus 7x minus 1. That's f. G is 3 minus 2x. So you just add the functions together. So 2x squared is kind of by itself. 7x minus 2x is 5x. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So there's the rule. I could say f plus g of x equals. This is a rule now. So I don't think you need to put that in your answer, but just in case you see it, don't panic. What's this saying? This is just saying take f, which is 2x squared plus 7x minus 1, subtract all of g. So I got a couple of things. So I got to make sure to put my own parentheses in there. Distribute that negative, so I get negative 3 plus 2x, and then the rest of this. So 2x squared doesn't have, I'm done with that. 2x squared, 7x and 2x is 9x. Negative 1 and negative 3 is negative 4. So if you don't panic, it's pretty simple. Now how else could they write this? They could go f minus g of x equals. Just a fancy way to finish your answer. Next problem is a story problem. I've condensed it a little bit. Grab this one from your book. It's right here. I'm not going to write it up on the board. I'm just going to read it to you. And it's very similar to the problem we had in the pre-lesson. That's why I think you'll be able to make the adjustment. It says, suppose demand D, so here's my demand, here's D, is represented by the function d of x, D for demand, equals this. And then it says the price P of the item is given by this formula, x plus 16. Remember the formula, revenue equals price times demand. Question says, find the company's revenue function. Well, that just means put things in here that you know, and then turn it into a function. So revenue, now it's a function. That was just a word, now it's a function. Now it's a math problem. What's the price? Price is x plus 16. What's the demand? That's that weird looking thing right there. And you haven't seen many of these weird problems, but they're not going to let you leave it there. They always want it in simplest form, so guess what? FOIL. So x times negative 0.25 x squared, that'd be negative 0.25 x cubed. Now we're going to go outside, so that's plus 1,000 x. Inside, I know 0.25 is the same thing as 1/4, so 1/4 of 16 is 4, but there's a negative. So minus 4x squared, and then 16 times 1,000 would just be plus 16,000. All right. Now they would probably reorganize this so you put it in descending order just by habit. So minus 4x squared plus 1,000x plus 16,000 equals new revenue. Crazy looking thing. There you go. But you could throw numbers in here and try to peak your revenue, but that's not what this is all about. I just think it's a cool formula. Last problem from your sample problems. Again, you kind of have to meander through the confusing language in this section. But at the end of the day, the math is pretty simple. So it says identify the rule. So all they're saying is do this. Well, what does that mean? Take the function f, divide it by the function g. Very similar to one of the problems in the pre-lesson. So f is x squared minus 3x minus 18. G is x plus 3. Now, once in a while, they'll throw this little question in and they'll ask you, hey, what's the domain? Well, without even doing a graph, remember we're looking at, I say the domain on problems like this is telling you, look at the denominator. What can't x equal? X cannot equal negative 3. You can never have a 0 in the denominator. Every now and then they'll just keep you on your toes and will ask you those questions, so be prepared for that. Am I done? No. This is where we are supposed to simplify it. So if I want to make it look fancy, there, I made it look fancy. But what you're supposed to do is now factor this if possible, which they're going to make problems that will work, probably. X and x, two factors of negative 18 up to negative 3, negative 6, positive 3, all over x plus 3. I like to keep my binomials in parentheses when I'm trying to reduce. It just jumps out at me. So my final answer for this would be x minus 6. You could put it in parentheses or not. I think that's it. That's it. So, do a good job on your homework.